always control how you react to it, always. Even if, I have anxiety, I have depression, I've been there, conquered it, promise it's possible. So, step one with your new habits, step one with being who you want to be, how you want to operate. I'm going to start with a quote from this book. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. It was written in the 60s. I'm going to reference it a lot. The man who conceives himself to be a failure type person will always find some way to fail. The person who conceives himself to be a victim of injustice, one who is meant to suffer, will invariably find circumstances to verify his opinions. I.e., the negative person, i.e., oh yeah, like always this, always that. The person who wrote this book was a plastic surgeon. But he was doing these crazy changes on people, and they were still unhappy. Like, oh, you didn't change anything. Still unhappy. My face is the same. My this is the same. When got his doctorate in psychology, and he wrote this book. And I'm going to reference it a lot because, again, it was written in the 60s, and the stuff he figured out through studies, whatever, is super translative to today and what is very prominent today. You know, everybody you speak to, oh yeah, anxiety, depression, it's a very, very common thing, increasingly common thing. So, step one, taking control of your life. Do not place the blame on the world. Like, oh yeah, I just got a shit hand of cards waking up, being born into this world. It's just bad luck. The world's doing this to me. Nobody likes me, whatever. It is on you. Because there's so much less worry and concern when you take control, you take ownership of the things going around you. Because it's easy to place the blame on other people, like, oh yeah, it's their fault. My coach told me after averaging 20 over 8 games, he had no plans for me. No plans for me. Go home. What are you gonna do? Am I gonna follow, blame him? Oh yeah, like it's just bad luck. Or is it on me? And I was a great basketball player, but at the end of the day, do I feel better when I say it was on him? No. It was on me. Worked harder. Should have worked harder. At the end of the day. As counterintuitive as you may have been brought up to believe, you actually can choose and control your emotions in every situation, even the painful ones. And so for those of you that are in love, heartbroken, dealing with anything, it's all a choice. The first time I got cheated on, that I know about at least, I immediately deleted the girl's number, everything. And I love this girl. I was with her for a long time. I remember she called me immediately when she found out I found out, and I didn't recognize the number. We don't memorize numbers anymore. And I was like, who is this? And she's like, Zane, really? But like immediately, as soon as I found out, deleted, gone, done. Because at the end of the day, do you really want to look back on life and say, oh yeah, I let so many people affect me. I lived vicariously through others and how much they affected me, and never for myself first. Life's short. My childhood best friend did not get to graduate high school. A drunk driver took his life before that could happen. You don't know. And I get so pissed off when I go to bed at night and I just know how negative I was that day, complaining, wishing out this, wishing that. And I'm like, life's so precious. You do not realize when it's going to be, who it's going to be, etc. So if you take control of your emotions, you take control of your feelings, it negates and nixes a lot of possible harm that can come your way. Which, for those of you that are really close to me, you know I do not let anything affect me. No, I don't. Because, first, when I used to not be that person, let everything affect me and get told, oh, you're too emotional, you're too angry, too sad, still nobody want to be with me. And by with me, I mean like brothers, family, not just a girlfriend. And then I become this confident person. It's like, oh, he's arrogant, like arrogant dick, whatever. Still nobody want to be with me. And so whether you're sad or whether you're up, there's going to be people that are just going to be around you and people that are with you. And right now, I am blessed with people that have been truly with me and have done things for me I never would have imagined. And so when you root yourself in the value of the people that are actually with you, and people that are just around you, when they say to you, when they hurt you, doesn't matter. Whether it's work, relationships, life, doesn't matter. They can't hurt you. They're not relevant. You put them there. They do not have to come into your life. Oh yeah, I can't help that I like them. I can't help that I love them. It's a choice. It's a choice. And I'm not saying I don't believe in true love. I'm not saying I don't believe in any of that. But at the same time, it is a choice. You allow yourself to feel that way. And my generation specifically, at least from what I've observed, has been conditioned to thinking, oh yeah, you can't help it. Just the way I am. I was born anxious. Really. I was born not confident. I was born being a people pleaser. No. So, when I progress through these steps, I'm going to speak in them as if they've already happened for you. So, okay, you've taken control. How do you actually start to become this person that is high operating, high functioning, confident, happy, peaceful, doesn't let irrelevant stuff bother you? First up, you have to build a self-image off of it. So, another thing from this book that Dr. Maltz figured out. For people that have anxiety, I know you've all heard, just stop being anxious. Oh, you're being negative? Stop thinking negative. People that operate in that way, their self-image is so rooted in the fact that's who they are, they literally can't think positive. Because their self-image, it won't allow them to. And so, what Maltz began doing was figuring out ways for people to change that self-image, because that's where it starts. They took, I think, 10 to 15 people that were in a low-level psychiatric ward. They took a test to confirm of their whatever disorders they had. And on the second test, they said, take it as if you were normal, high-functioning, whatever. And again, this is in the 60s. This is way before all the stuff we have today. And they retook it as people that were already high-functioning. 6 months later, they were out of the psych ward forever. And so your brain literally cannot tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something that actually happens. You ever accidentally scared yourself or thought a car was coming and your heart rate got up? That's because your body's going to operate. Your body's going to react to what your mind thinks and truly sees is about to happen. And so, yeah, we talk about, I see failure, but it's easy to see that. Oh yeah, I'm just going to fail. It's easy to do that. But it's hard to work. It's hard to envision being successful. But on the same coin, it works. It works. So you're taking control. With building this new self-image, you have to stop making things worse for yourself. How do you do that? You cannot write yourself off as, oh, I'm just not a confident person. Again, going back to, oh yeah, I was just born not confident. You cannot write yourself off as, oh yeah, I'm just a people pleaser. I put everybody above me. I just can't help that I'm blank. Well, if you can't help it, who is? Because, and I was going to say this later on in the presentation, but nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. I am here speaking to you, I'm telling you about habits going to help, yes, but I cannot do the work for you. I like thinking of myself as kind of like a catalyst, a match, a light, whatever, to spread more light. But again, y'all have to take the light and run with it. I cannot make the changes for you. So nobody's coming to save you. You have to do it for yourself. Nobody came to save me. I had a lot of help. I read, listened to YouTube videos, music, people that are with me. But again, it's on me. It was all on me. So don't write yourself off as, I'm just not a confident person, I'm just not this. And stop people pleasing. Which, again, some of y'all's heart rates got up because you know you're a people pleaser. One of the biggest regrets in people on their deathbeds, they did a survey. Number one or number two was, I was a people pleaser. I lived for other people more than I lived for myself. And I would worry too much about what they thought of me. And I don't know about y'all, but I'll be damned if I look back on my life and I think, oh yeah, I took care of everybody else and put myself last. Because I used to be that way. And now, those people that are people pleasers, I don't want with me. Because when the time comes, I'm going to need you to stand on you. You're not going to be able to. You're going to fold for this person or that person. And if I love you enough to be through that, you're not going to be people pleaser for long. Because you are who you surround yourself with. And I firmly believe that. So stop people pleasing. Put yourself first. Even if you're a mom, even if you're that sibling that had to be a parent for a long time, and you had to take care of your younger siblings. Again, choose you. Because if you look back on your life and you've lived for other people and you haven't done what you do, that's where depression and anxiety and unfulfillment, no peace comes from. Okay, so don't write yourself off. Stop people pleasing. And stop having so much other esteem. Talk about self-esteem, low self-esteem, whatever. A girl came up to me one day. I asked her how she was doing, and she said, I'm not good. I feel like everybody doesn't like me. Okay. Why? Well, like these people this, these people that, these people this. Okay. Everything that was congruent in her statements, it was all about other people. Nothing to do with her. If they don't like you, if you're worried about what they think of you or they are doing, that's not self-esteem, that's other esteem. Or other people's thoughts, other people's feelings. That's also from this book. And what they also begin to figure out is if you really realize how little people are thinking of you, again, more peace comes. But at the end of the day, build self-esteem and not worrying about this person's opinion, whatever. Because the people that you place at a relevant point, people that are with you and love you, are not going to be the ones thinking how you think people are treating you right now. And probably the most significant point of this step, you need to realize you might have to break the conditioning of how you were conditioned as a child, because that plays a huge role in who we are today. Despite my depression, despite my anxiety, I got to tell y'all how I was conditioned as a kid. And I have to excuse my French a little bit. Success was not an option. It wasn't an expectation. Like, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. And so the first time I failed, I didn't know how to deal with it. I went to a basketball camp that I had dominated the year before and just got waxed. Just did not do well at all. I couldn't cope with it. Crying so much. Had no idea what to do with it. And, but on the same token of that, a girl asked me what my confidence truly rooted in one time, and I had to think about it. My dad and my grandfather, we were told that Zebronic men are the shit everywhere we go. And now, a lot of y'all think, oh wow, that's so arrogant. But before I address that, on the flip side of that, kids are getting taught, oh, be humble, be bashful, be confident but to a fault, not too much, not too high. And that's where confidence problems begin to start. But when you're told, we're going to be this, you're going to do this, in condition to that, success is an expectation, it's going to happen. Hey, I'm not saying I've never failed. I've failed a lot. But I was never to a point where I said I'm a failure. I'll say I failed. I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get what I worked for. But I've never said that I myself am a failure. Double-edged sword, though, I never feel successful, ever. Right now, I am vilified and so appreciative and grateful for my life because all these people are listening to me speak. But at the same time, in my head, it's always I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be this person. And so it's very, very hard for me to be oh yeah, I was successful today. But through reading and listening to other people, I know I'm not the only one that operates like that. So, am I crazy? Probably. Am I the only one that's crazy? No. So, break your conditioning. Don't write yourself off. Stop people pleasing. Moving on, taking control. Again, I understand that nobody's coming to save you. Yes, I am here. Yes, I am helping, and I love being a light. But it's on you. You have to make the choice. I'm not going to put this person above you today. I'm not going to let these opinions affect me. It's all a choice. Every bit of it. The biggest, what I've seen now, is that a lot of people read self-help books. Little books that have a lot of happy titles, You Are Awesome, How to Be a Badass, whatever. But I feel like the perspective is, I'm going to read it, post it on my story, whatever, and that's it. The books are there to help you. They're supposed to help. I would not be who I am right now if I haven't read how I have, if I haven't listened to YouTube videos I have, listened to speakers I have, music, etc. They're supposed to help. So when you're reading those things, when you're listening to those things, use them. That's what they're there for. They're supposed to help. So you've taken control of your life. You no longer react emotionally. You have stopped worrying about others' opinions, and you have stopped. Can't read my own handwriting. Oh, placing people at relevant points who don't deserve it. Now what? What's next? Step 2.